Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. Today we are super excited to showcase the A Link Between Worlds 10-year anniversary rando celebratory stream, or race, sorry. My name is Sakura Subasa, and joining me on commentary today is going to be Rick with an H.
Has it really been 10 years? Wow.
10 whole years. It is.
My goodness, how far we've come. And today we've got a randomizer race for you. Link Between Worlds Rando has not been on ZSR in a little while, but we have some new goodies since the last time we've been on stream. On Restream today we have Floraberry and we have Broody. These two people I love these two people to death. Flora is our glitchless 80% world record holder, and we can expect some good things out of her. And Broody is just a hardcore rando player. He's been very, very supportive of me when I've been working on developing this. Both really cool people. Should be a good race today.
And of course, we can't forget our lovely tracker for today, Jim. Thank you so much for joining us as well. So yeah, we're ready to get started. I'm super excited for this race. It's going to be a lot of fun. Big celebration. 10 whole years.
10 years. Where does the time go?
It really, yeah. So it looks
All right,
like
we're gonna get started.
Yep. Soon we should be seeing these runners start relatively. Oh, uh-oh.
Broody has to rename.
A rename.
And we're off. All right, what do we have in the shop today? All right, with our current settings, boots, pouch, and bell, our quality of life items are guaranteed to be in here. So it looks like we got some silver rubies, so we can get that for free. Ravio's a nice guy like that. He'll give us one thing for free. And oh, Brody's not buying anything? That is an interesting choice. Oh no, he bought boots. I missed that. He bought boots. Okay. So boots are very nice to have when you don't have a sword, because for some reason, when you are in that state where you don't have a sword but you do have boots, you deal 5 damage with boots, which is actually more than the gold sword. It's kind of nuts.
Looks like they're both typically going to head the same way at the beginning here. So there's a few rupees that you can get from bonking the tree right above the blacksmith, which will help be able to buy more stuff from the shop. We're looking, they'll need to buy the bell there as well. Bell is going to be really nice for movement. So it looks like so far Flora has the bell, or sorry, no, neither of them have the bell. It would show up on screen.
They will definitely be going back for it. Flora taking the time to pick up one of those Mai. Both of these runners are probably going to grab at least 10. I'm curious because this is a glitchless race, so I'm curious if they will spend those Mai on nice bombs or the nice ice rod.
I definitely, yeah. I feel like if, of course, if Turtle Rock is one of the portrait dungeons, then you'll typically see them probably go. I feel like Ice Rod would be pretty good to start as the item for the nice items. Sword is excellent.
So we got a sword and a glove early enough. That gives us access to Death Mountain. But they're going to complete this little starting loop. What is... Oh, right. Okay, so we have chest size matches contents turned on. So Broody just peeked that jail chest. It's tiny, so we can forget about that. And we're going to start... What's our first hint? Fire Cave Pillar is dead. Awesome. That is a very nice hint to get. That is one of the not great checks.
Yeah, it requires hammer as well, so It's nice to know, at least if you go up Death Mountain, if you're putting it off because maybe you don't want you don't want to go up there if you don't have the hammer or something. It's nice to know that you can at least skip that area without worry. We're seeing everybody activate the we're seeing everybody activate the weather vanes here because again, we were mentioning earlier they're going to want the bell. The weather vanes is how they how it basically gives the ability to warp around is by all the places that you've activated. So we'll probably see one of them death warp relatively soon because that's probably going to be the fastest way to get back to Link's house, depending upon which direction they want to go.
Wait, Rudy dipped into Sanctuary there and got himself a bottle. First bottle gives him just one check off of the sick kid from A Link to the Past. He grew up and he gained a new hobby, collecting bees. Flora did not pick that up, so it'll be interesting to see if Bee Guy has anything.
So we did get a hint for Eastern Runes is on the path to Grynex.
Ooh, that's
yes.
Spicy. Eastern
So
Rune.
Grynex is actually the boss of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so he'll take either the Ice Rod or the Flippers, so we'll be looking out for one of them over in Eastern Ruins. But it could be, these are the same, these path hints work like path hints in Zooter, so it could also be something that leads to one of those items.
Yep. Looks like our Sand Rod is just rupees. One Master Ore. We need 2 in order for that to be another check. There's 2 and 4. Once we get either of those, we get a check at Blacksmith and Low Roll Blacksmith.
Rudy's gonna set up for a death warp here. Or at least I hope he is. He doesn't have the health to go up Death Mountain Mergeless.
And there we go. There's that death warp. Flora picking up the Scoot Fruit. That is very handy. Scoot Fruit does multiple things. First thing, of course, is there is a check that requires it. Lovely gentleman who does not like to explore dungeons because he's too scared. So he wants a Scoot Fruit in order to do that. And so that's one of the items that he needs in order to check his location. The other thing is, of course, Scoot Fruit allows you to warp out of dungeons. Basically, the vanilla game, it would be consumed upon use, whereas in the rando, you buy one and it's yours for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, we're nice like that. We let you use as much as you want. You can also use the foul fruit as much as you want, but no one ever seems to want to do that.
We're doing the woman check.
Woman check. The best NPC in all of Zelda.
Yep, her name is Woman, and she's kind of upset because she's been kept up all night because there is a crying Mai on top of her roof that you need to remove in order to get her check. Ooh.
That is okay. That's interesting because Rudy is able to pick those up because he got that bottle at a sanctuary. Flora skipped that. She might, well, she's sort of in the neighborhood. Maybe she'll go back for it, but
yeah, I suspect Death Mountain instead. But we also that's actually more information too, because we did get that hint that Eastern Runes is on the path to Grynex, and now that we have the Flippers, that means that it's something that's going to lead to the Ice Rod.
Wait, no, I thought we got the bottle out of Sanctuary. That's not Eastern Ruins.
Right. So that's why I'm saying the
I gotcha. It
yeah.
Sorry, I am slow today.
Well, honestly, I mean, I guess Eastern Runes could have another bottle though. So
yeah, that's true. Well, not a path bottle.
Yeah. So 300 rupees. We one of the things about A Link Between Worlds is there is an awful lot of rupees in the pool. There is a check that does require a significant amount of rupees. That's our rupee fairy. That's 3,000 rupees. So
The Great Rupee Fairy, we affectionately refer to as the Great Scam Fairy, as she tends to be.
Right, another
you will
hint.
notice. Oh, Bouldering Guy is dead. Okay, that means we don't care about our bottle trade quest items today. Very nice to have. And okay, that's where our tornado rod is.
And we got a hook shot in the waterfall cave.
It's a very, very easy check to orphan. It's sort of awkwardly placed. People don't know how to route it in. I don't know how to route it in.
I also do not know how to route it in. It's one of those like really late game, like, oh shoot, I forgot this check.
So, on the screen, we can actually see what dungeons we need to do, at least in Hyrule, if you look at those X's. So, today we need Tower of Hera, the House of Gales, and Hyrule Castle also has a portrait. We are playing with reverse sage events on. That's a setting that makes it so basically the different sages will lock things that are related to them. That is relevant for Hyrule Castle in terms of Impa. Impa is required to... the guard won't let you in the door unless Impa is there to talk him down. And Flora is doing a glitchless strat. You don't see this very often, using the Power Glove to get herself into Eastern Ruins. And Broody doesn't need that because he picked up that hook shot, but she's going to get herself in there.
Yeah, Broody's gonna get an extra check with the hook shot by being able to just hook shot to the chest on the ledge there, which we, depending upon how the seed goes, we may see Flora coming back to check that later. So it'll be interesting to see how that check is routed back in later.
Yes.
So this oops, sorry, go ahead. Nope.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the rando basically deals with the rental system by getting rid of the rental system. We just let you buy the items. If you die, whatever, to keep them. Nice and easy.
Yeah, it would be really weird if you rented a heart piece and had to return that.
I low-key kind of want to create a setting like for it. It's like for the novelty, but man, it's so much effort, so that's why I'm not doing it.
So we have Broody is inside of Eastern here, and one of the things that they'll need in order to go through all of Eastern is the merge bracelet. There's a bunch of checks there that you just can't get without the ability to merge with the wall. So in this particular rando, you actually get two merge bracelets. There's the Ravio bracelet to start, and then of course the second one is the merge bracelet, which then gives you the ability to merge with the wall. So Rudy had a small key, so would have been able to continue on through the dungeon, but is opting to leave and go check a few flippers locations.
Which is an interesting choice. I'm wondering if that death warp was intentional or not.
It definitely looked like it.
There's a second master ore, so we can check blacksmith now.
Yep. So with the bell now, Flora is able to head back to Kakariko and check the bee guy to see that they're carrying the flippers.
Rudy is rounding out the rest of his flippers checks down here in Southeast Hyrule.
And from what I understand, I believe mini games are turned off for this. So there's a few mini games in in Hyrule that we're going to be skipping. One of them is the race guy. He's up on the ledge over here. There's a few other miscellaneous mini games that we will not be seeing. But yes, it is. You're buying the items at the rental price from Ravio's shop, which is pretty handy. Because the actual buying price is quite steep for some of the items.
Yeah, it's expensive. If okay, bracelet 1 was on blacksmith, so that was so that chain was bottle at a sanctuary to get the flippers off B guy, to get that master ore, to finally get half of our ability to merge.
Yes. That could potentially could that technically be the path to Grynex, because you do have to go into Lorule with the merge bracelet?
Bracelet will never be the path item. It's a little bit like how in Zooter, Zelda's Lullaby is never path.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like literally everything requires the bracelet, right?
Yeah.
I think the only check we haven't seen out of Eastern is the merge treasure dungeon and the hammer pegs. Oh no, and the bomb cave.
Yeah. So we have Flora is going to be heading over towards the bird lover, as well as both of them have been picking up Mai along the way. I do like picking up the Mai in the water as like the preferred ones to find, because they are just super quick to grab. You don't have to lift anything up, and you can dive as you're traveling forward, so there's not a lot of time lost there.
Really nice. Broody making his way into Eastern.
Yep. There's a nice little secret path underneath this little pathway here into grabbing a second chest, which this one's a big one. Could it be our second merge? No, a small key.
Those are 2 small keys. We have chest-sized matches contents, but we only have 2 chest models to work with in Link Between Worlds. So unfortunately, we have to put small keys into big chests. It's a little disappointing to some folks, but it is what it is.
So we have ourselves the hook shot here, which will allow us to grab this nice big chest.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. So I guess the next big chest in here is probably going to be the big key. Or it could be a potential item, but we're still looking for a big key in order to finish this dungeon. There's this chest at the beginning, which if it is something large, if it is like the big key or a small key, then last thing you want is, of course, to go all the way to the end and then have to come back for that chest.
I would truly like that. Flora forgetting she doesn't have merge yet, unfortunately.
Yep, just regular Ravio's bracelet at the moment, not the merge bracelet yet.
And there's that hook shot. She will be happy to see that.
Yep. I suspect we'll see Eastern from Flora pretty soon. We could, Flora could go up Death Mountain,
I think Broody has Bell mapped to his L3 button. I think that's up there.
So we're probably going to see, for this room that Broody's in, you have to kill all of the worm guys. I don't actually know what their proper name is. I always have these really odd names for everything. But yeah, you have to kill all of them in order to make that chest appear.
Eastern is a pendant, but this dungeon has. It's not like a Link, Eastern Palace in A Link to the Past where there's like no chests. There are so many checks in this dungeon that even if it's a pendant, like you're basically going to full clear it.
Yep.
This is probably our big key here. Yep.
Yep.
And
we
do not have a bow yet, but we have a hookshot, so we can kill Yuga. It'll be an out of logic kill, but that's not going to stop these guys.
There is still there's still one more chest on this side, so we could still even see the bow in this room if it's a big chest.
Oh,
it is a big chest. So there's Flora now getting the Ravio's bracelet. Or the merge bracelet, sorry. So now Flora's actually skipping the beginning chest and going straight for the it's possible that Flora may be trying to get the warp point that you get from killing these Armos statues here and then go back for that other chest.
I think she's planning. I think she's gambling to. Oh no, I'm wrong. Never mind what I was about to say. Yeah, you're right. I was gonna say because in speedruns we grab the other. Wait, is she just leaving?
Oh, she's leaving.
Oh, she doesn't have merge, and she doesn't.
No, she just picked up merge.
No, but she didn't get the other one from. Oh no, okay, I was looking at the tracker. You're right. Interesting.
It's possible. Yeah, Eastern does have a lot of checks in it, but it is still a pendant. So, so Flora could be going for other checks at the moment. Looks like the waterfall area.
She's missing out on that ice ride, unfortunately. That could come back to. Well, is Turtle? Yeah, Turtle. Okay.
We haven't. Yeah, we haven't seen what Turtle Rock is, but there's four dungeons are pendants. Four dungeons are pendants, and 7 dungeons are portraits. So the likelihood with I believe, is it 2 pendants in in Hyrule? It's definitely okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Eastern is going to be a pendant that we'll see on Brody's side here. The pendant doesn't spawn after the boss. This dungeon's a little odd. It'll spawn at the entrance. But we'll see what color it is here in a second. And, oh, that's a vanilla green pendant.
The special charm from Princess Zelda. So there's actually 2 green pendants inside of this game. You get one from Princess Zelda, and then Sahashala tells you later, oh, that's not actually that's not just a charm, that's actually the pendant of courage. So we did get the list of what the other 2, like the pendant of power, the pendant of wisdom, where those are.
So it looks like we've got wisdom in Thieves' Hideout and power in ice. I'm personally happy with those. It means that we probably don't have to climb Lower World Death Mountain, and we don't have to do the Thieves' Hideout escort mission today. Maybe we might find ourselves in there anyway.
So Flora's doing something. So in this game, there are a bunch of different treasure dungeons. It's supposed to kind of teach you how to use the different items that you get in the game and give you a reward for kind of like mastering the ability to use them. So this one is actually, I think, honestly, I have to say that it is probably the hardest one for me, specifically. The Boots treasure dungeon.
People do struggle with this one. Honestly, like I don't want to sound stuck up, but I'm a little surprised how many people struggle with it, honestly. All right,
It's
sorry, I'm conceited, clearly.
honestly, it requires some pretty precise timing. And sometimes, especially if you're playing on an emulator, it can be a little bit challenging to time that correctly. But
Sorry.
so small chest looks like so normally there's actually some boulders in front of that cave that Flora just went into, and that normally you'd need to bring this big bomb over all the way to are the bombs still there? Did I somehow miss the fact that we blew up the wall?
No, we did. I know what Flora's doing. So the setting you're talking about is an awesome quality of life feature, but it doesn't remove the wall behind the vacant house. So this is out of logic, but it is possible. So if this is something, it could be big for her, because I don't think Broody will do this. It is small though. But a heart container that is always welcome.
Yep, definitely. Health is a good thing. And we see Broody. Broody is going to my good friend over in low roll. So we go and say hi to the Hinox here and basically take 6 items from this guy by force, and he gets pretty upset and wants his stuff back
because he didn't get anything good.
No.
That's surprising. He usually has something.
Yeah. There's 6 items there, so it's pretty likely sometimes that you'll get something good. So are we gonna get my favorite dungeon? Oh my goodness.
We can see our low roll dungeons. Okay, so we already knew Thieves and Ice Ruins were pendants. We also see that Pod has to be, or Dark Palace rather, has to be our last green pendant, meaning we do get to go to Swamp Palace today.
Yep. This is my favorite dungeon. Super relaxing music. Also, depending upon how you route it, you can actually end up with 1 extra small key. Although
Swamp, I always find Fire Rod in Swamp for some reason, so I'm just sort of expecting it.
So each hint, so those blue things that everybody is talking to, those are ghosts. They're hint ghosts. They'll tell you a hint for a small amount of rupees. You can set that actually in the randomizer to be whatever amount that you'd like. They're pretty low costing for this race, and you'll see sometimes you'll see duplicate hints. So for instance, each fire, that fire pillar hint that we got earlier, we'll actually see it twice for each of the hints. So
yeah, there are there's a whopping 193 hint ghosts in the game. We only put hints on the overworld. There's 58 overworld ghosts. Those are the only ones that are turned on. And there's 2 copies of every hint. So what is that, 29 total hints, and you'll find each one twice.
These jellyfish are very mean to Flora.
I think they're just lonely.
Lots and lots and lots and lots of small keys inside of Swamp Palace. So far, we found 4 of them already.
You don't often see all of them at once like that. Ooh, unfortunately missing that throw. You gotta get to the top of those stairs for that throw to work.
Oh. Yeah, you have to be pretty close to the edge. It's honestly It's a really tight throw.
And little chest.
Well, at least that means no more small key in that one. Compass is pretty good. It shows where all the items are and all the locked doors are.
I think we got a graveyard hint to Zelda's throne, if I read that correctly. What did we get in we got a bottle in the graveyard.
We did get a bottle, which led us to flippers.
So that, okay, so our Master Sword is probably somehow flippers locked, is what that's saying? Or, well, okay, it could either be for Master Sword or it could be for whatever we need to rescue Imba.
Yeah.
I always forget that.
So it looks like Broody is instead going to go towards the Hookshot Treasure Dungeon up at the top of Death Mountain. One of the other cool things about doing this route is if Broody goes all the way down, we'll be able to unlock another weather vein if, you know, he needs to go up to Ice Runes. We do know that Ice Runes is a pendant, but it looks like Broody dipped in there just to see that it was not a big chest, so...
Curious where he's going. I bet he's checking Low Roll Death Mountain, probably. Yeah, there's two checks over here that are easy to kind of forget, and a really quick My.
Flora doing excellent on this jellyfish. This little mini boss here in Swamp Palace can be a little bit of a pain depending upon what items you have, because once they blow up, then you basically have a bunch of little electric jellyfish everywhere that you can't really necessarily always prevent yourself from hitting the electric part of it.
Who taught me that you can actually, if you are very skilled, you can kill all the little babies when they spawn immediately with a sword beam. I think she's used to having more equipment there.
Clearing Stump has a boomerang.
That is not something we need, but if... Well, I think there's only one check that hard requires the boomerang, so we'll have to keep that in mind for logic. The Stump is the only check, well, yeah, the only check in these settings that requires both green pendants. We are playing with a charmed pedestal, so what that means is we only need one of the green pendants in the event that something is on the pedestal.
We're getting a ton of rupees, which is good because we still don't know what the rupee fairy has.
Yeah, that can be kind of monka, and that's a reason why you'll see people opening small chests, even if they don't really need anything, just in case they need money. They'll hedge their bets.
Yeah. It's also nice to have rupees for. It's also nice to have rupees for the. Ooh.
We're doing a nice skip there. That is glitchless. That is allowed.
Oh, I need to learn that one.
It's super easy. Flora knows all the glitchless tech. She is a very dedicated glitchless runner.
So the other thing to have rupees for, of course, is the hint ghosts, and depending upon the cost of what you've set for the hint ghosts, make rupees more or less valuable than others. So we're about to see our first portrait boss battle here.
Argus with just the Forgotten Sword. Not the boss battle you want to do, especially she doesn't have the Ice Rod. So this is going to be a little tough for her. She'll probably be fine, but Broody is going to have an easier time of things because he does have that Ice Rod. You can use that to interrupt Argus in the second phase, and it just makes the fight way easier.
Yeah, with these chests, sometimes one of the cool things about A Link Between Worlds that I find is more interesting is it really leans into the 3D aspect of things. So you can fall onto chests, you can still open them when you fall onto chests and other things like that. Sorry.
You're good. And here we go, Argus in 3D.
With many eyeballs, but only in the front.
Each of these eyeballs takes 5 hits to kill.
Yep. So using the hook shot to grab 2 of them, and then sword attacks to hit them 5 times. Especially because in the later half of the fight, these eyeballs will actually... Argus will actually throw 2 eyeballs at you, so if you have 2 of them out... then and you're killing them fast enough, then it's pretty nice to avoid having to deal with both of them flying at you.
Yeah, our runners will opt to do 2 scoops whenever they can. That's what I like to say. Broody getting bullied over there by Gigaberry.
Only a couple more hits left on Argus. There it is. Yep.
Nice, no damage.
That was a super quick fight, especially considering the equipment that Flora has.
Argus can be... A lot of people discount Argus, and they think, oh, it's an easy fight. But then, when you're in this situation, where you have no health, and just baby sword, it can surprise you how hard Argus can hit. And
so there's Impa.
Very nice. Impa is a very nice thing to have.
Yes, and that answers one of our questions earlier about flippers being needed for Hyrule Castle. Yep. Because flippers is needed for Swamp Palace. We got those in the graveyard, and of course that basically ends that trail right there.
So whenever we find a second sword, Flora will be able to go in and get herself what is more or less a close to free portrait at a Hyrule Castle.
It's actually impressive with how many checks that they've done that there hasn't been at least a second sword at all.
So today's seed was rolled by our very own Jim. Jim likes to roll some chaotic seeds, or at least he tends to. So, I don't know. Thieves Hideout to Zagan, that is... Ooh.
But desert. And Thieves Hideout is a pendant dungeon. So... Desert could be lift, so lift upgrade or sand rod.
Yeah.
Or something that leads to those.
Now, thankfully, if you're just dipping thieves and you don't actually intend to complete it, you might not have to do the escape. We'll cross our fingers that it's nice to them. But we'll see what happens.
I've found actually a lot of seeds will have a pretty nice item in early thieves. So hopefully that holds true in this instance. So Throw back to Ocarina of Time here. We have the password is 23 is number 1 on the entrance to Thieves.
That's that one day. But okay, first chest. Oh, it is big.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's a small key.
Boo.
We do have to find a small key pretty early though, so it's nice. Well, less nice in this one, but because we don't want to actually do the full dungeon. But yeah. I believe Broody is going to be setting up soon to be also going and completing Argus. Just needed to pick up a few of the remaining checks, like the big key, because he can't really beat the boss without the big key.
Required.
That door in the top right corner there is actually the door that I was mentioning that you can end up with one extra small key or depending upon how you route it, because there's now going to be no reason for Broody to need to go through that small key door, the locked door over there, in order to clear the dungeon. So Broody's going to have an extra. Nicely done. Nice.
That, I hope that's not path.
That's scary.
For those who don't know, scroll locks one check in the game in these settings, and that is in Ice Ruins, our other pendant dungeon. So hopefully we get something else in here. Otherwise, that is very Monka.
Maybe pedestal sand rod. That would be gross. Small key on ledge.
Big thing. Okay.
Time
Okay.
convinced. Here we go. That's desert.
Okay, we can breathe easy now.
Yep.
That's definitely the path.
Yep. So there is one more check that if we want to grab it before leaving, it'll at least give us the ability to warp back down here to the bottom. So there's a few Igors over here that you can kill. It'll give you a nice little teleport, so you can come back down here if you need to finish clearing this dungeon.
This Red Igor fight sucks, even with Master Sword, but with our Forgotten Sword, it's gonna be, I'm not sure how many cycles. They have 16 health. It's gonna
be at least 4.
You see how much damage they do. They are, yeah.
Oh no.
That hurts, but it's not surprising. That is a tough fight.
So we have Broody almost done the Argus fight. 2 more little mini eyeballs to go. Alright, and nice The nice thing is, if you can position yourself in between Argus and the wall, when you bounce back, you'll actually throw yourself into the wall, which will help you be able to like move quickly back into position and hit Argus a lot faster than throwing yourself into the middle of the arena. And you can see Broody utilizing that pretty nicely here. Argus complete.
I don't think we have commands set up because this is a pretty new rando. Our settings are we're doing 7 portraits. We have reverse stage events on. They're playing normal logic, and I think that's about it as far as event settings.
Yeah, it's not nice mode. It's progressive enemies are on. And I think that's pretty much it.
Oh, and we have Bow of Light is shuffled to be anywhere in these settings. So we're going to be keeping an eye out for that. If they can't find it before they get to the end of the game, there is a Bow of Light hint. It works very similar to the Light Arrow hint in Ocarina of Time Rando, if you're familiar. So that we won't have like a blind Bow of Light hunt.
So we know that we need bombs to get Tornado Rod. That was, we got a hint earlier that Ice Rod Cave has Tornado Rod. And we do need House of Gales. So that's one of the things we're still looking for. We're also looking for, I think Skullwoods is required. So some sort of fire source in order to get through that.
Yeah, we are playing with super items on, so there is a second copy of both the lamp and the net in the shuffle pool. Our runners are going to be hoping to get both copies of the lamp, but they do both know how to navigate Skull in the dark. I don't think we'll see that. Skull is generally not where you want to go hunting for progression, because it just doesn't have a lot of checks. But oh, Flora is going for it. Okay, very interesting.
Yeah, the thing is, there is a path. There is a point at which you do need fire, in the dungeon. You don't necessarily need it to get to the boss if you've gotten the big key, but you would need it if you wanted to beat the actual, like, grab the other 2 checks in the bottom.
3 checks with the outdoor chest.
Ah, yes, that's right. Oh man. Yes, don't forget that.
Everyone does, including me.
I have done that. It had my fire rod. I was very sad. So there's a lot of small keys, and I feel like a lot of the low rule dungeon have a decent amount of small keys.
They do. Skull especially. So key logic is kind of funky in Skull. The first 5 chests in Skull, of those 5, 3 of them have to be small keys. And because Flora just got that big key, or the boss key rather, when she gets to the basement 2 and she gets to the boss door, she's going to have a decision. Or if she had a fire source, she would have a decision about whether to do left side Skull or not. Taking an unfortunate death there. She got bullied.
Yeah. One of my favorite options is the fact that when you die, you have the option to warp back to your house or the beginning of the dungeon. And of course, the first one that pops up is actually going to your house. So if you're just spam pressing buttons, you'll sometimes see people accidentally end up at their house rather than at the beginning of the dungeon. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where we go next here.
The trick to navigating that room Flora was in the dark is you actually want to be looking at the bottom screen. It'll show you the map and like the actual way to go down there on the bottom. And Broody picking up his Titan's Mitt, and he will probably fight the Igors, so we will see if Flora missed out on anything juicy there, while Flora bullies this Hinox. Yep.
Unfortunately, the Hinox not having anything good today. Just some health. Health is nice though. And using the Hinox actually is a nice death warp to go back to Link's house. Because otherwise you'd have to go you'd leave. You'd have to find your way back into Hyrule. You'll have to then use the bell in order to go wherever you want. You can, yeah, use the Hinox and keep yourself from, you know, having to do all that extra work. These Igors are big time bullies. Rudy's gonna have to be really careful here, and sometimes depending upon how the swings or how the spins work with the sword, you may leave yourself a little open for these Igors to slap you.
Yeah, it's tough because you can put yourself into a corner and just like hide behind the sword, and that'll work. It'll take a while, but it will work. But you're very tempted to charge up the sword spin to get that extra damage in, because you can only hit them. You can only hit an Igor 3 times between cycles. So people tend to not get greedy, but they want to maximize their damage, and only for a bloopy. So Flora didn't miss anything by not getting that. And oh, is he continuing? Is he going to do the full escape? I think he is. And meanwhile, Flora is going for this chest over in the Turtle Rock area. This chest is all by its lonesome, very easy to orphan or just completely forget about. It's nothing today, but...
Yeah, and that chest is also very interesting because one of the things that most newer runners, myself included, did not realize for a while was that you don't actually need flippers to access that chest. You can go around from Hyrule. Hyrule actually has one ledge that you can go into that will take you directly to that chest. And sorry, this fight with Broody and all these these guys. My heart is racing because some of them keep getting really close to the thief girl. But yeah, you don't necessarily need the flippers in order to access that check.
So, your graveyard hint earlier to Zelda's throne, it probably was just for flippers for Impa, but I'm wondering if it may have been referring to Master Sword, because we haven't seen any other sword yet, and we're really starting to hurt for one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I was expecting. Honestly, I was expecting Broody to go into the Turtle Rock area rather than Thieves' Hideout with the ice rod. I feel like with Turtle Rock being a portrait dungeon instead of Thieves' Hideout. I'm trying to think how many chests or items can be in Thieves versus Turtle Rock?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think it's pretty close, or pretty similar at least.
Yeah.
Turtle might have a few more.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Turtle Rock has a ton of small keys.
And what's down Ruby Hallway?
A small chest. Yep.
And he's going to take it anyway. This can be nice just to pick up the money, even if you don't care about the chest.
Could also be a heart piece, which would have given a nice heart refill right before the boss, because that's pretty much the next part here.
You skillfully walked around the trigger to load those Zazaks. Saves a little time not having to fight them. Master Sword, pedestal, piece of heart. Okay, very nice. So Pet is dead. Thieves is 8, Turtle Rock is 10. Gotcha.
So we're gonna be seeing. Oh, nice. That was actually really good. Using the hook shot to hit the button so that you don't have to fight the the what are they called? Zazax there?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do like a drive-by where you like walk on the conveyor as it's going the wrong way and hit it with the sword, but it's really easy to mess up, so it's always like I don't know if I want to do this kind of thing. There's our big key.
Yeah, and we did see earlier that the chest that is right before the boss is actually a small chest, so
yeah, you can't leave Thief Girl behind, but the trigger's neater there.
it is impressively long that we've gone a very long time without another sword upgrade for all the amount of checks that the players have done.
A little worried that we haven't found bombs yet. We will need them. We don't need them for a dungeon. We don't need them because Pod is a pendant today, but we do need it to get Tornado Rod out of Ice Rod Cave. Which you probably should call Ice Rod Cave, but whatever. What else are we gonna call it? I'm just borrowing the Link to the Past names.
Typically I'll end up calling Dark Palace Palace of Darkness, mostly because like there's already a couple of dungeons in this game that use the same like abbreviations. Desert Palace, Dark Palace, Tower of Hera, Thieves Hideout. So having a different abbreviation for the dungeons is nice, especially when I don't want to type it out. Ooh, one net. There's actually two nets, two lamps. I think Rick mentioned that earlier, that the super items are shuffled into the pool. Oh. And there's bombs. There we go.
That is now huge.
Yep. We have the ability to get Tornado Rod. The problem with that is there is a check almost immediately inside of House of Gales. So if we go into House of Gales and we don't have fire source, there's a check in almost immediately in that dungeon that requires fire. So I'm wondering at what point Flora is gonna end up finding that ice rod. I cannot remember where it was.
It's turn. It's I don't know when she's gonna go back for that.
Yeah. Especially with bombs, there's so many extra checks now.
Yeah, it's honestly I think Flora might be ever so slightly ahead, but Broody having that ice rod, like we can't really ignore that. It could honestly go either way. It's going to depend on when does Flora go back to Eastern, when does Broody pick up those bombs.
Yep. So there's our Pendant of Wisdom, and yeah, this particular boss, the Thieves boss, you don't get the item immediately. You have to go into this little house and pick it up, and then the portrait or pendant is in there as well. So will we see a bomb upgrade for Flora? We do.
Oh, it has to be. She doesn't have the ice rod. But nice bombs are very, very nice. For literal years in the speedrunning community, we thought that nice bombs were the only nice item with any value, really. Rando makes the nice ice rod a real competitor. But it's really just those two that you're going to want to spend your Mai on.
Yeah.
It is the nicest of rods.
So I feel like with Flora having the information about the ice rod being, or sorry, the tornado rod being at Ice Ruins, or why do I keep saying that? Ice Rod Cave. Goodness gracious, my gosh. I feel like with Flora having the information about Tornado Rod being at Ice Rod Cave, that Flora will probably head over there after doing this one check here. The overworld items like heart pieces and other things like that, those you can't actually tell the difference between what they are at the moment. So in these chest sizes matches contents, you still kind of need to go and check all the things that are kind of exposed like that. And we did see Broody pick up the bombs.
We also saw a hint. It was Kakariko to Moldorm, and that's. I'm trying to think what we got at Kakariko, because we got flippers at a Kakariko, right? Did we get anything else?
Well, there's still the gold bee guy that we haven't done yet.
Oh, you're right.
So I don't know, and there's a few other checks that we have that are locked behind the smooth stone that we haven't seen as well.
Oh, Merchant had strength? Oh, never mind. Okay, it's that. It's that for Death Mountain access. Or wait, no. Can it be that? Because our other strength was in Thief's Hideout, and I don't... Was that strength locked?
Thieves? Let me actually... No, I don't think... The first merge wasn't strength locked, and the other one was in Eastern. So... I don't think so.
Okay, so that could be either... Okay, that's interesting.
But it's really difficult to tell for the Moldorm stuff right now because there's still things that we haven't seen. So we could see even more still in there.
Yeah, you're right. No matter what, it has to be something for Tower of Hera, which requires strength, merge, and the hammer. So that those are what we're going to be looking out for.
Some more rupees. Also, I think another thing that we haven't mentioned for those people who are new to A Link Between Worlds, there are... Oh no! All the way at the top. That was literally right before the end.
That's real feels bad. Especially because there's two hearts like immediately after that room.
One of the things that we haven't mentioned for A Link Between Worlds for people who are new is that they're going to be... You'll see them collect purple, yellow, and blue monster bits. Those things are actually for potions. They're not really anything important for the rando, but if you need health, or you probably won't see a lot of runners go out of their way to go pick up a potion until like the end of the game if they need for Ganon. But yeah, those monster bits are actually for potions.
Laura, I imagine, will probably YOLO you, Ganon. Flora has the world record for the Laurel Castle individual level run. So she is very, very practiced on you, Ganon. But unlike some other randos, our final boss is not free. not even at all. You, Ganon hits like a truck, and if you're not ready for it, it can be a bad time.
Yeah, typically, there's a fairy room right before the Uganon fight, and so, more often than not, you'll see players go for the fairies rather than for potions. But the difference is that fairies don't actually heal you fully. So if you're looking for like, yeah, if you're looking for like the good heart amounts, then getting a blue potion or something is going to be better than going for fairies. But it all depends on how much time is it going to cost you to go pick up fairies versus, or sorry, how much time it's going to cost you to pick up potions versus how much time you'll lose if you don't get enough hearts back from fairies, kind of thing, and end up dying. Green mail, though, we've also, not only have we not found a sword, but also we haven't had any armor upgrades.
Yeah, that could be a little rough. We've got 8 hearts, which is, okay. Yeah, we might want some more if we can't find another mail upgrade, but we'll see. Skullwood's eyeball chest is dead. That's a nice one. That's the really long, like you gotta carry an eyeball all the way across the room, so it's always nice to have that one dead.
Yeah, there's a nice little trick that you can do to basically use the same eyeball twice, but I'm not sure that it's okay in glitchless.
Yeah, no, it's banned in glitchless. Unfortunately.
Oh my goodness. That hint though for there it is again. Just a double check. Long merge sword upgrade.
Spending the extra rubies just to verify that.
Yeah. It was like,
wait
a minute.
We'll not be getting that. We're not getting that at all.
Nope. Ooh. Having to take another lap around with the turtles for Turtle Rock. I think Broody is a little bit upset there. So I think Flora is trying to decide whether or not to go and finish Thieves' Hideout. Or see if there's anything on... Yeah, I'm wondering... Or Skullwoods, maybe.
Might be a tip back into Skull. But she still doesn't have a fire source, so I'm not 100% sure.
There's also the chickens up at the top. I can't remember what the check is in my Rosso's house. That we could probably that's where she's going. Also bees, the golden bee. So there's 2 things that you can do while you're up here. There is a vendor that sells you a golden bee. I remember my very first A Link Between Worlds rando was the merge bracelet was locked behind handing in a golden bee, and that was before
that was it. Yeah.
like before you were guaranteed to actually get a guaranteed to actually be able to get to the golden bee guy.
That needed to change. That was a fun oversight in the rando. We forgot how rare it is to actually spawn a natty gold bee.
So we're getting a few checks in Broody's in Turtle Rock, and one of the first checks in this dungeon is killing the Flamolas to spawn a chest there. So this particular dungeon has a lot of different things, yeah. A lot of different pathways that you have to go around, merging with the wall, pressing buttons, and all that stuff. I like to have bombs for this dungeon, so I'm glad Broody has bombs.
demonstrating how to do this horrible room with only 3. It's strange. You kind of think that you can't walk diagonally off the little lava tiles, but you can. You won't fall into lava.
Very nicely done. So I think Flora is debating on what to do next. There's Eastern and Thieves Hideout, which is I think pretty much most of what she can do at the moment. So yeah, it looks like Flora's coming back to get the.
Go back, Flora. Go back.
Yeah, I think that Flora will probably go back into Eastern, but there's so much stuff to do in the outer world here. You've got the merge dungeon. You've got the yeah, so we know that's the small chest. There's the bomb cave that you can see the. Oh, maybe not. I really thought that Flora was gonna do the rest of the stuff there.
It looks like she's gonna go grab her tornado rod.
Yeah.
And
it could be good depending upon what the firelock chest is. Like, it might not be anything necessary. That would be another dungeon clear.
That is not the right entrance to the... She'll remember. There's also the possibility that she goes into Gale's and your lamp is just there. That does happen.
Yep. There's our tornado ride. So another one of the chests in Turtle Rock requires you to kill 4 particular Wizrobes. So you're gonna see Broody do that in just a minute.
And yep, Laura's gonna dip Gale's. Okay, we'll see how this goes. She needs a small key on one of these first 2 checks to be able to continue. If she can't find a key, then it means that we are fire locked.
Ooh, great spin!
Great spin is extremely nice to have. It makes your sword spins, instead of doing double damage, your sword spin will do quad damage, and it takes up like the entire screen.
Yeah, it's very nice for boss battles, specifically. So there's our last of the platforms that will spawn the chest there. So we got the big chest in House of Gales. So this one has to be a small key or a fire source.
Okay, the small key. It didn't have to be. It could have been on the lamp lock chest if fire is available elsewhere.
Yeah, but... sorry, I meant it has to be in order for her to continue.
Thankfully, Gales is being nice to us today. Or not nice, depending on what actually is on the firelock chest. There are 2 firelock chests. The one that is on this floor, and there's one on the 3rd floor. Flora's doing this is a glitchless trick that saves a couple seconds if you get it first try, but can cost you if you can't get it. It is tough. I never go for this.
Basically, she's falling off. She's kind of stepping off and using the tornado rod kind of at the same moment, and it's pushing her forward to the point where she's gonna land on that platform so that she can go up on to the top and press the button. And she gets it right there.
I think she meant to drop there.
No, but she did unlock the, wind shortcut.
True. So, okay, she's doing a little bit of speedrun tech there. She got to ride the wind during the switch activation cutscene. That saves a second or two.
This, honestly, this room that Broody is in right now is the reason why I upgrade an ice rod every time. It's very, very sensitive on where it wants the placement of the ice rod, and if you have to do it multiple times, then it makes it a little bit challenging for time saving stuff, and then you fall into. Ooh, my goodness!
Fire right out of Gales. That is okay. It doesn't actually unlock that much in these settings because we're on glitchless. But it does give us access to Ice Ruins and the chest right outside of Ice Ruins.
As well as...
oh, it's a fire source.
Yes.
Right.
So, Broody's in the middle of the Grynex fight here. Now, Grynex, you need to hit Grynex 5 times with the Ice Rod before Grynex will actually come up above ground here, and you'll have to fight him for Phase 2. So one of the cool things about Grynex is that he has a volcano in his back, and if you hit him twice, then if you hit him twice, he will basically a volcano will start spewing out of his back. But if you position the ice rod close enough, then you can actually extinguish the. You can extinguish the volcano source. Grynex is not being super nice today.
That's just how most bombs can be, though. Even if you're not using them for glitches, they still deal 6 damage per bomb, which is a heck of a lot better than just his single sword can do. Very, very nice fight.
Yep.
Or going to the room that I never ever see, because we always skip this room in glitch modes.
So it looks like our portrait is Ceres.
Right, we need Ceres, but she is the worst sage, kind of. She does nothing. Every other sage will do something, but not Ceres.
So I suspect that Broody is probably going to go to House of Gales next for dungeons. So this room that Flora's in, you have to kill all of these guys here. A lot of them, if you use a tornado rod at the right time, will just fall into the hole. So, yes, exactly. That was such a good one.
I've never seen this room done so quickly. Like without like purple potion shenanigans. I've never seen that.
Yeah, if you line yourself up pretty nicely with the wall and stuff, you'll be able to get a lot of them to just fall into the hole. And even when they're hopping around, they'll still fall into the hole. So you can sometimes just leave them and and they'll end up doing it to themselves.
Eastern bomb check was nothing So that's one less thing that could be our path.
Yeah, I guess Brody's looking for the lamp or fire rod probably before going to House of Gales. I mean, I definitely don't blame him, because especially the fact that, you know, there's only a couple checks at the beginning there.
Oh, for sure. So let's see. They've done Swamp, they're doing Turtle, and Gales. We don't really have other dungeons in Logic right now, except for Ice and Sanctuary? Well, no, not even. They can do
No.
Sanctuary, but it's not in Logic.
Nope. Yeah. Just a small chest. The Great Spin making that a lot nicer. That the Kudos fight is pretty mean.
It's a hard fight. It
Yep.
really is.
So what are we gonna get from House of Gales? One last item. The Master Sword!
Let's go. Okay, that's huge for Flora. And
Gully's
Gully.
portrait. Oh, that's gonna make stealth section so much nicer.
Yeah, so Gully doesn't unlock anything directly, but when you collect him, he causes the guards outside of Dark Palace to just disappear. So he is the quality of life stage, pretty much.
Yep. So this area, actually literally where Broody is right now, you'll see a bunch of guards here. These guards will these guards will capture you, and you know, Broody doing a great thing by helping me explain how the guards work. So the guards will capture you, put you in a cage, and then you will be able to you'll have to go back and sometimes do some of the previous stuff that you had already done. The later on that it happens in the maze here, the worse it is. Also, Bo.
Nice.
Bo inside of Hyrule Castle.
We don't need Bo, but we like to have Bo.
Yep.
And
Bo.
And this is Impa here, so she's gonna yell at this guard, "Why don't you let him in? Don't you know this is the main character?"
Blacksmith and Lorule, Red Rupee.
And okay, Orin. So that portrait Flora just picked up, that is where you would get the charm in the vanilla game. So it is shuffled along with the rest of the dungeon prizes. And today it is Orin. Orin lets us do a couple things. I believe we got a hint that she herself doesn't have anything, so we don't care about giving her the smooth gem today. But once she's rescued, the Shady Guy becomes available to steal things from her, which unlocks 2 checks in Kakariko that we have not yet seen. Which, that Kakariko to Moldorm hint. Thank you, Broody. That was real nice of you.
Yeah, very good timing for Broody twice now.
He is a real pal today on Restream. And I guess he's gonna dip pod, yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting seeing the different routes, because Flora not having Ice Rod and Broody not having Fire Rod. I am definitely interested now that Flora has Impa and has gone to Hyrule Castle, gotten the Queen's portrait. I'm very curious to see if those two checks, one of them is Hammer.
I think there's like a 50% chance it's Hammer. It could also just be that strength we got off the merchant, but
Yep. Oh no.
unfortunately getting bullied in the dark.
Yep, both of our racers here, navigating dark rooms. You mentioned before that there's a map on the bottom screen. When you're in a room where there's platforms and it's dark and you're having to walk around through a maze, then yeah, typically your best bet is going to be just looking at that bottom map. It can be a little bit more difficult when you have the hand trying to grab you in the dark, because then you have to kind of rush, as well as, keep on moving to make sure that you're not being grabbed at the same time.
And that's no chill. He doesn't care that we're doing a rando. Now this chest, Flora's grabbing this drop-down chest. This chest actually can be peeked, but I think it's the hardest peek in the game because you have to do it from merging in the corner, and like the weird 3D view will just barely show you it. It's pretty tough, so most people don't go for it.
So there is that lamp that Flora lit up in the top corner. That helped make that room significantly easier to navigate.
For sure.
So we have Broody continuing inside of Dark Palace, Flora continuing inside of Skullwoods here. And I'm very curious to see if there's going to be anything inside of Dark Palace, because I think that if there is, then, like, depending upon what it is, it would be locked by the lamp. And so that can help give you an idea on where the lamp is. Or at least one of them.
Okay, well, we don't need that, because we know that Bouldering Guy is dead. Well, okay, we know that. Does Broody know that? I can't remember where we got that hint.
I don't know that Broody knows that one specifically. I do very much like the tech that Flora is using inside of this later half of Skullwoods. That was a lot of time that Flora just skipped with the boot stash across over to the ledge here, as well as using the tornado rod to go up on the go onto the merge platform. Or, well, I don't even think it's called a merge platform, but there's kind of like a wall that comes out when you put the statues in the right place, and so using the tornado rod while it's still moving means that you can just go on top of it. Not have to do the second one, not have to do the merge or any of that stuff, which is very nice.
And Flora's showing off some more Skullwoods tech, just voiding out there to avoid having to ride the slow little platform. She is cutting it very close with hearts. And these two Gibdos can sometimes bully. So taking it, yeah, I don't blame her taking it slow. Not risking it. Oh no, now she can't see. Okay, she makes it.
Yeah, and we got a heart here, which will be nice. Be able to Yeah, get a few more here. So we did get a hint earlier that the eyeball chest here is junk. I don't know if it was Flora or Broody that got that hint, but
It was Broody. Flora's doing it.
Yeah,
And...
I mean, yeah, seeing this ball chest there will...
That's right. I forgot. You have to do one eyeball, even if you're skipping the chest, because you have to spawn the bridge. I always forget that.
Also, very, very nice dark room navigations from both of these runners.
This is not easy.
Yeah, both of these dungeons are pretty tough to do in the dark, and so the gameplay that you're seeing right now is some top tier gameplay.
There, it looks like Irene is behind Knuckle Master today, so Irene will give us the Irene check.
Yeah, it's Irene is an interesting check because Irene actually shows up in multiple different places. So if you're using a tracker or something, you may see Irene's name in multiple places on the tracker if you're using a map tracker. But it is just one check. You could just run into her in multiple different places.
It looks like we opted not to finish out Pod. So I'll be curious to see where he goes next. Meanwhile, Flora is going to not Mothula. That is definitely the official name.
Yeah, this guy, he'll basically kind of, how it works is in phase 1, which is the phase he's in right now, he just continues to kind of slam into you until he turns purple, which is then phase 2. So now we're in phase 2, which means we're going to get slammed into the ground. So Flora's going to want to move when the hand runs into, or like kind of lifts up into the sky. Sometimes it can be a little tough because the Knuckle Master's thumb sticks out, and so it can be a little bit mean and still slap you even if you're out of the way.
Meanwhile, Broody showed us the scam fairy. Scamming hard today, only giving us 100 rubies for the 3,000 we painstakingly gathered for her.
There should be only one more phase for Flora for Knuckle Master.
Broody definitely is taking time to think about where he wants to go next.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different things, but I feel like there's not much that he's going to be able to do outside of House of Gales.
I get the feeling our runners are going to be heading up to ice, because they are running out of checks that are not on the mountain.
Yeah. Especially with Tornado Rod heading through the through Low Rule, East Death Mountain, you will find there's a few extra checks over there. So, and I feel like with Broody going in and delivering the letter for the premium milk, that's exactly where Broody's gonna go, is up towards Ice Runes now. Stopping to deliver that so that yeah.
Yep. That confirms that it's Flora who got that hint, and not Broody.
So I think I'm hoping we see Flora go and seize the Zora Queen just to see the Shady Guy cutscene, so that we can see what the remaining 2 items inside Kakariko are.
Yeah, I think that would be a smart move at this point. Do that before you go to the mountain.
Yeah, especially because we already know that, like, the hint for... We already got the hint for Kakariko being on the path to Moldorm.
What does Irene have for us today? $50.
$50!
Oh boy.
So, Flora has Fire Rod, which means that she's going to be able to go through Sanctuary here. Because all you need is a fire source to light up these torches.
This will be out of logic. It wants the lamp, but that's not going to stop them.
Yeah, there's a lot of quality of life items that we just haven't found yet. Lamp being one. Having any kind of armor upgrade would be fabulous. So you have to get a small key in the sanctuary here, because you're gonna have to go through. Ooh.
We do need that. Desert is required today. So that is almost certainly where Flora's going to go after. It'll be interesting to see if she bothers to clear out Low Roll Graveyard or not. She does have Titan's Mitt, so she can do that. But she might also just make a beeline straight for Desert.
Yeah, I feel like she'll probably activate the Weather Vane in case she has to come back. And then maybe grab the check that's kind of a little bit out of the way, maybe. But I suspect it's probably just, beeline straight for Desert.
Desert is a very, very check-dense location. It could have... Well, whenever I play Seeds, all my swords end up in Desert for some reason. So, we'll see what happens there.
Osfala has a red rupee.
Okay, that makes our yellow portrait slightly less valuable, but...
Flora's at least opening everything so that if she needs to come back to this area, that, it's nice and quick. Can just do it on the way. And looks like we are. Yeah.
Did. Let's do it again, but in the dark. That's basically what this is.
Yeah, and this one doesn't actually have any lamps that you can light up. So you just kind of have to know where to go or use the fire rod if you have it to light up the room temporarily. If you have the nice fire rod, it actually lights up the room for longer.
Yeah, it does.
Ooh!
God.
A lamp-locked lamp.
Okay, that is very nice, and Flora's going to be thrilled to see that. Another lamp has to be out there somewhere for us, but we don't care. And actually, Flora really doesn't care because she's done everything she cares to do in the dark.
So there's a second basically copy of most of the items in the game. There's the nice bow, nice bombs, nice hook shot, nice hammer. Nice hook shot? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Super lamp, super bug net, nice
that is a
tornado
vanilla
rod.
master ore. Oh my goodness. Blacksmith 2 is dead, right?
Yes, red rupee.
Okay, then we don't care about that, but that's just kind of funny.
Yeah. The there's a bunch of different. There's basically 2 copies of everything. In this preset that we used for this race, nice items. Those items that you will upgrade at the My, those have not been shuffled. So if you want to upgrade anything at the My Mama, then you could go do that. But these super items, the 2 items that you would get from Treacher's Tower, the super lamp and the super bug net, are both shuffled into the game. And the super lamp specifically is actually a very, very nice item to have. It does gold sword damage and is a lot quicker to use than a sword.
Really wishes he had a fire source right now. You can do this fight without it, but you can see how tough it is.
Yep. With half a heart left, not able to take a single bit of damage.
Did he die here earlier? Oh, right, he has Great Spin. It's
Yep.
so... Honestly, the hardest part of Great Spin is remembering that you have Great Spin. Unfortunately, just a little chest.
Yep.
And not even health.
So as suspected, Flora heading straight over to desert area. So we have to do desert. We have to do Tower of Hera. And I'm trying to think of what else our last dungeon is.
That's it. Desert and Hera, and that will be
Yep,
between
you're right.
between all of them.
Yep.
Or Flora will still need to do. Okay, we don't have Rosso and we don't have Asfala. We're not sure which one is which yet.
Rosso gets us 2 checks, as well as Asfala also gets us 2 additional checks. Asfala will give you 1 when you pick up his portrait and unlock the Thief Girl check. And Rosso actually has 2 chests inside of his house that you can grab once you unlock his portrait. So neither of those 2 are more valuable than the other at this point. Unless, of course, one of them has an item and the other one doesn't. Then, in which case, that would not necessarily be the case.
He is making his way down to... It looks like he's going to make a play at Ice Ruins. I think at this point, this is the play for his position. He doesn't have Sandrod, so he's just going with check density, and he knows that there is another sword in Ice that he can get. It will be interesting to see if Ice has anything.
I suspect Ice will have Lamp.
That would make sense with where we're at.
Yeah, I suspect that, or at least some check along the way to Ice will have Lamp. Could be in even, there's the Tornado Rod checks over here, that could lead us to Lamp. But I feel like with Lamp, with the other Lamp being Lamp locked,
he doesn't have Fire Rod yet. He didn't do Gales.
Nope.
Oh, okay. So he'll still get the Weather Vane, so it's not entirely wasted time. But yeah, he's gonna have to make his way into Gales.
Yeah, and he can still do the other checks along the way. Just not the Fire Rod checks, or like not anything in Ice Runes.
And oh yeah, Supernet does also do Gold Sword damage, but it is pretty slow. So it's usually not preferable.
So this area here that Broody is on is actually very slippery, except for when you get onto these little platforms here. So it can make things really, it's really jarring to go from a very slick floor to a not slick floor, and sometimes you'll see people run off the edge. Flora going into here. I suspect this will probably be a small key or a big key in this this room here. Desert. Yeah, small key. I feel like a lot of deserts checks are small keys. Oh, hey, we got Super Net, which is actually more damage than our sword right now. That is also gold sword damage, but it is very slow. So
It's interesting when people opt to use it. I think it's very situational which one ends up being faster or not. But yeah, so Desert has the most small keys out of any dungeon that's not Lower Castle. So it will be a lot of big chests.
So unfortunately, no way to remove these tiles other than just swing, swing, swing.
You can get double hits with the Super Net, but at least when I do it, it is not consistent at all. Meanwhile, Flora's doing a mandatory tile room. It's not a 2D Zelda without a tile room. Or I should say, it wouldn't be a sequel to A Link to the Past without some tile rooms.
Yeah, that's the other cool thing about this game. It definitely has a lot of throwbacks to previous Zelda games, specifically, of course, its prequel, A Link to the Past. So if you're familiar with that game specifically, you'll notice a lot of wow.
That is okay. What is that logic? That's probably not our Kakariko to Moldorm, right?
Strength upgrade, yeah, it could be, because it could be that strength upgrade was required to get Hammer because that was under a rock.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, okay. Interesting. So, okay, so now Flora can do Era. Is Flora in Go mode?
No, Ice Rod from Kakariko. Or not Kakariko, from Eastern.
Right, okay. She has not gone back to do that yet.
That one is actually going to be a really scary thing. Because Eastern is not necessary. So, like, the dungeon itself is a pendant. So there's not necessarily a reason to go specifically to Eastern to complete it for like a portrait or anything. So, with check density and stuff like that, and the fact that you need portraits, you're gonna see. That was very nice boulder manipulation there. Bringing it back up for the second round. But yeah, I don't know when we will see Flora go back to Eastern.
Yeah, so I would say that... Okay, so Flora looks to be a bit ahead, but not her orphaning that Ice Rod in Eastern, like you're saying, that could be what determines this race. If she puts that off, Broody can come back and take this. He absolutely can.
Yeah, especially because Broody is going into Gale's right now, which is where he's going to get the Fire Rod, which is then going to lead him to get the other items to quickly pick this up. So the the quicker Flora goes back to Eastern, then yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how the remainder of this race plays out, because it can literally still go either way.
So I think here on Restream, other than Bow of Light, I think we're in no mode. Right? We know where everything is?
Yeah, we know where everything is to beat all the portrait dungeons, and I'd even say we know, like, Zelda will just tell us where the Bow of Light is, so I'd say even with, even where we're at right now, it would generically be no mode.
And it looks like Flora has hit her point. She's saying, "Nope, I'm not opening any small chests anymore. I am done."
Yep. Looking to see that big key, or the big chest in the bottom. So Broody did a little bit of a different way on how to get to that platform that Flora did earlier, by using the tornado rod in a different spot to be able to go up Flora early. So I believe this is going to be a small key, I think, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So we have Fire Rod in here, and we also have the Master Sword, I believe, was also in here on the boss.
Yeah. Yeah, Margot Mill has our Master Sword.
Was the Fire Rod on the first floor, or was it on the second floor?
I think it's on the small key he's going to get here in a second.
Yes, that's right, yes.
He's going to get it. He's going to do a little trick to grab it without having to do merge.
There we go. So Flora's on phase 2 of, I believe it's Zonganaga. I don't actually know how to pronounce that name correctly, so hopefully I didn't do it too much injustice. The lovely plant boss. And if, unfortunately, this boss can be a little mean sometimes and knock you off platforms, hit you like 3 times for the price of 1, depending upon how you're positioned. Because you get knocked in, you can get knocked into the sand while it's spewing sand. Then it'll continue spewing sand and knock you off again. So doing damage to you while knocking you off, and then hitting you again while you're in, and then the sand gets you again while you fall into it a third or second time.
Man, bosses can just be mean in this game. $20 and a yellow painting. Okay, very nice for Flora. So Flora has 6 paintings and just needs to do Hera. That hammer is going to let her finish out Hera, but she will... Oh, that's right. She hasn't done Turtle Rock yet for that ice rock. We keep talking about it, I keep forgetting.
Yep. Yeah, it's Turtle Rock for Flora, as well as Tower of Hera. So I suspect we'll see Tower of Hera. I'm wondering, because Flora is going to have the Fire Rod going up Death Mountain to go to...
Why is she on Turtle?
I think it was a mistake. So Broody needs to hit all the buttons on the far... Yeah, it's supposed to be every far button.
Trying to do the you can kind of do it with these inner buttons if you ride the wing at the top of it, but yeah, I don't think he's quite doing it right, unfortunately. This is a room that Yeah, a lot of runners never see this room because we skip it.
We have the hammer here. Going into Tower of Hera. We could potentially see Lamp here still.
Where was Sandrod again? I can't remember. Because we found Hammer in Desert. I'm just trying to figure out the logic.
Oh boy, where was Sandrod? On a ledge somewhere, I thought, but I don't remember. Sanctuary?
Sanctuary?
Yeah, okay, so then no, Lamp can't be in here. More bits for potions.
We are glitchless today, so we can't bomb rod up Tower of Hera and finish it in 2 minutes, unfortunately. But it's okay, it's still a pretty straightforward dungeon. We have an out-of-logic lamp. There should be an actual lamp available in logic somewhere that we haven't found. I think, Sakura, I think you're right. I think it's probably still in ice somewhere.
Yeah, I suspect that's where it is. Which would be pretty gross. Because then that would be the only reason to go to ice. But Super Lamp is very nice.
Yeah, honestly, the best thing our runners can hope for going into the final boss is to have Super Lamp and the Hylian Shield. That's like your easy mode, basically. But you don't always get so lucky.
Big chest here is going to be a small key, yeah. Or a big key. We need to find a small key and a big key relatively soon because we don't have many checks left. And the boss is coming up pretty quick. I think there's another tile room coming up as well.
Yeah, there's a quickie one. And, oh. 7th floor chest. I always hate when this chest is something. But,
yep.
Okay, that's key.
There's our big key. Great Spin makes the Margamil fight a lot nicer. Because it's pretty much one spin each time, which makes it significantly faster. So here's our other tile room. Which is a bottle.
Oh.
So that's what, 3 bottles now? Or there's
Yep,
2 and
bottles.
then...
And we found the letter bottle, or Broody found the letter bottle.
Yeah.
So there's only one bottle out there that we haven't seen yet. Language Worlds has 5 bottles for some reason. I don't know. I always thought that was strange.
Oh no. Flora trying to set it up so that the mole will throw her up as it's backing away. Rudy getting the Master Sword. And we're gonna see, I think, my second favorite boss of this game. Moldorm. Who looks like a burger. With eyes. Which is a weird thought.
No, but it's true. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Very nice fight from Flora on that Moldworm. Super fast. So now we just need Flora to make her way to Eastern Palace to get that ice rod. And not get baited by ice runes.
So Broody finished Gale's, went back in to grab his first floor Firelock chest. I'm not sure if Flora grabbed that or not, but it was nothing either way.
I don't think she did. So there's a chest over here that is fire-locked.
Where does Flora go from here? She needs to go to Eastern, but where will she go? And there's the hint glasses, in case you need a hint.
So there's we saw the hammer pegs chest there. So we got Rosso stuff. So we'll probably see, yeah, the Rosso checks here. There's 2 of them. One you have to pick up a bunch of rocks for, and Flora is not going to do that before checking to see what the crooked chest is, because Flora needs 1 item. So it's typically going to be check the fastest thing to see if it is a big chest, because if it is, there's a high chance that it is the item that she needs. And then she can always come back if she gets the hint from Zelda. If she needs to grab the other chest. And this is a very long check because you got to lift up every single rock around the house.
And she'll also be able to get this cave behind his house. This is hammer-locked. Fortunately, it's just $100, but there's a couple stray hammer checks she can grab.
Yeah, it would be nice, honestly, it would be nice for her if she could find the shield. The Hylian shield. Oh, big chest. The Bow of Light! Oh my goodness.
Alright, we need that.
Yeah.
So Bow of Light is only useful in this game for the final boss fight, and by useful I mean required. Flora is going to be very happy to not have to go on an adventure to seek that out. And she's going back. I bet she's going back for that chest that she missed. Yeah, so now she's trying to figure out where is my ice rod.
Yeah,
we know it's in Eastern, but she doesn't.
Yeah, this is one of the easier quick checks to quickly grab from a dungeon, so opting to check the quick one here at the beginning rather than go through Eastern, rather than go to Ice Runes. Ice Runes, she would have to go, and I don't think she unlocked the shortcut for it earlier, so she would have to go the whole way over there. And there's a few Firelock locations she can check on the ground here. She's going to be excited about the big chest and unfortunately disappointed that it is just the hint glasses.
Bucks off of Warren.
So just $100 there, and another bottle.
It's our bottle percent.
So many bottles. So now that Broody has the fire rod, I believe Broody is going to head through Sanctuary because, you know, even though it's out of logic, most of the runners here will have been in, you know, at least where the lamps are, can light up the stuff in the dark. So it looks like Flora may be heading towards Eastern area.
Oh, and we crossed 2 hours a minute or two ago, so happy 2 hours. I guess take a second to thank Sakura for joining me here on commentary today. Want to thank the runners, Floraberry and Broody. Really cool people. Give them a follow if you haven't already. Jim is our tracker today. He's doing a great job. And just on behalf of the Link Between Worlds Rando speedrunning community, and speedrunning community, I guess, just want to thank ZSR for putting this on today. We did not give them a lot of notice, so big thank you to Trez and associates for helping us out. We really appreciate it.
Very much so, yeah. It's always really nice to be able to showcase this game. This game is absolutely wonderful. One of my favorites, and you know, it deserves more attention than it gets.
We have come a long way since the last time we showed this game off, and we still have a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
So we have Flora is heading not to Eastern, but instead to Dark Palace. Dark Palace is probably the logical check in her mind because it has a lot more checks than, you know, a mostly abandoned Eastern. But unfortunately, she really needs to go to Ice Rod in Eastern. So Broody did see the ledge chest was a big chest inside of the Low Roll Sanctuary. So I believe he's going to go through here, hoping that it is Hammer. But we know that in here, Broody is gonna find the lamp.
Interesting. Okay, so Flora's not dipping Pod after all.
Just grabbing the 2 checks there. Does have the thief unlock here. So might as well see if this is a big chest. Nope, just a small chest. Doing the thing that I do and forgetting that you have removed the need to talk to the thief to get that item.
I'm like, I made it so you didn't have to, but everyone wants to anyway. Alright.
I always forget. I talk to her all the time. So yeah, having the lamp is gonna now make it so that I believe Broody is gonna go to Skull Woods. Broody also has the ability to complete desert as well. So Skull Woods Desert, and once Broody goes through desert, is going to get that hammer that he needs.
Over here in Sandraw Dungeon, we know that there's not a lot left in the game. This could be another sword. It could be a Highland shield. Could be the bee badge.
Could be a lamp.
It could be a lamp, actually. Yeah. Oh god, this check wrecked me on my last race on ZSR. I remember it well.
So it is a big chest, so...
Trying to do the fast drop, but she blocked herself out with that setup. She's just gonna do it vanilla. Which, honestly, is fair. This dungeon can be confusing.
And getting the Hylian shield! There we go. That is a nice one to get, depending upon where the other lamp is. But I feel like the lamp at this point has to be in Ice Runes, and Flora really does not want to go to Ice Runes, but I'm very scared of the fact that she just teleported to Treacherous Tower area.
I think she's gonna... Or no, she's gonna check this first. That's right, she didn't do this before. And...
Checking a few abandoned locations. So we got the hint earlier that this blacksmith check that Broody is doing is actually just $20.
Yeah, Broody definitely is. The longer Flora does not go to Eastern, the more ground Broody is gaining.
Well,
Um,
the issue with Broody, Broody would be gaining significantly more ground if he was going into dungeons. But a lot of the checks that he's currently doing is overworld stuff, and so he's not actually making like progress towards his goal in the same way that we need.
True. That is true.
That in the same way, like he's checked more overworld locations, but he's not really actually progressing any further towards his goal, because we know that his goal is literally obtained by just completing those dungeons.
Yeah, so the one, well, I think the big advantage Flora has right now is that she knows where Bow of Light is on Rosso.
Yeah.
Now, that's not huge. Broody will, if he doesn't find that naturally, he'll find it from the Bow of Light hint. But between that and just the lead that Flora has with every other dungeon done, I think Flora still is in the lead. It's just, how long is she gonna avoid Eastern?
Yeah, and that's the scary thing, is there's still Dark Palace, there's still Ice Runes, and there's Eastern, like the remainder of Eastern. If she picks the wrong dungeon and Broody like fast clears through these through like the dungeons that he needs, he's gonna find all the items except for the Bow of Light.
I guess this is really, we have one runner who is thoroughly clearing out all the dungeons, even the pendant ones that he doesn't need to do, and that has paid off for Broody. But Flora is, she made the decision to get what she needs, and she dipped out of Thieves after she got Titan's Knit. She dipped out of Eastern after she got Merge. You kind of see the benefits and the risk reward of these decisions.
Yeah, so Broody is choosing to go the normal way.
Yeah, Flora's showing off a little bit of obscure tech. So the coup enemies actually die in one hit to the Fire Rod. For some reason. No idea why.
Oh, didn't you know water is weak to fire?
Yeah. Is that how that works?
Steam, it creates steam.
Yeah, this is why I'm bad at Pokemon.
To be fair, I'm probably worse.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. Flora did do Igor's. I think it was just a blue ruby, though.
Yeah.
Pokemon isn't on Steam.
Every time Flora comes back into the light world, my hope gets like a little higher that she's on her way to Eastern. This check is locked by Boomerang, is it not?
It is. Which is, so that she can do this.
Oh, yeah, look. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, she, to be fair, she did get the hint early on where Boomerang is. So it's possible that she wanted to come and see what the Boomerang, or whether or not that was a big chest or whatnot. So it looks like we're going to Ice Ruins area.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, I suspected that this was likely to happen. Ice Runes is, especially with getting Stamina Scroll decently early and everything else it kind of leads you to think, oh, well, maybe it's in Ice Runes. Maybe that's why I have to go, or maybe I got Stamina Scroll for Ice Runes or something, which isn't necessarily, of course, how Rando works with, like, how placement is. It's just, here, place item here. Good luck. Sometimes.
Yeah, with the knowledge that Flora has, this makes sense. you want to prioritize your check density.
Yeah.
Some of the hints, honestly, seemed like they were, indirectly hinting at ice. So I understand this play. We know, unfortunately, that it's the wrong play, but she will at least get a sword out of this if she is so inclined to go that far into ice.
Yeah.
And maybe a super lamp. So, as a little consolation prize.
Yeah, and having super lamp, already having the Hylian shield and getting super lamp will be super great. No pun intended.
Pun definitely intended.
Okay, maybe it is intended.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We still are on green mail. We have found neither of our t-shirts.
Nope.
Watch as both of them are on. Honestly, I bet Zelda has one of them at this point.
Honestly, that would be very nice, having a an armor upgrade on Zelda. I mean, not really later in the game, because by that point, like, the only thing you're taking damage is those fairies. But yeah, being on green mail for so long is really painful.
So for people who are maybe not familiar with this rando, we have our last check in the game is in the middle of the final boss fight, like smack between phase 1 and 2. Zelda gives us the Bow of Light in the vanilla game there, but she could give us just about anything in rando.
Yeah, the most, like, the thing that I find is the most valuable is if she gives you a heart piece, because she refills your hearts, and if you had a rough first phase, it can be super nice.
It really can.
But 90% of the time, she'll give you $50 or $100.
In the last time we did a race on ZSR, Zelda had the bell. Which
oh, that's disgusting.
I was so mad.
Death warp everywhere. Because it'd just take you back to your house, and that's the only way to get anywhere. That would be painful.
Yeah, I think at the time of that race, we didn't have the setting to forcibly give out the bell like we do now. So, Ravio's shop at the beginning of the game, there's a couple items, or a couple settings that will put your convenience items into the shop so you're not hunting for them. The trade-off, of course, being that because you're getting your quality of life item, you're not getting something else random.
Yeah.
Which I think is fair. Especially because Ravio is 8 or 9 free checks at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. So we're gonna get, we have Irene. So I'm suspecting Broody will probably head towards Desert Palace now, just because of the check quantity, and or to Dark Palace. There is I'm actually not sure what would be here.
Broody, well, he needs his hammer and... Actually, wait, he has Sandrod. Why isn't he going into Desert?
I am maybe he thinks this is a portrait.
Pretty unfortunate. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Because otherwise, there's just no reason to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that he has left to get in here is just the boss. So he might just be coming in here thinking that it's a portrait, or just because it's a quick boss kill that he's already basically done all the stuff for. So he just has to come in and light the lamps and go on.
Maybe he read the logic and maybe he read something into the logic that we missed. He's showing off, if you place the bombs at or about that spot, blink and you miss it, the first phase is going to go quick. And goodbye to Gemasaur's mask. And first phase down.
Yeah, and the lamp doesn't use very much stamina, so...
Oh, it doesn't use any stamina. It's pretty nice like that.
It's only a couple or one more hit. And Gemasaur's down. I'm curious what the reaction's gonna be on the item here.
I think this is our other green pendant. Yes. A bee
dead. Now all the bees are your friends. So there's our second green pendant.
Well, he can get the boomerang if he really wants it.
Oh no. I saw the hover over top of the ice runes teleport and I panicked for a second.
Flora going back into wait, why is Flora going back in the swamp? Did she leave something behind?
The chest in the middle here. She might think that it is something that she needs.
Oh, in the southwest room. Southwest. Looks like she can grab it. Okay, which is honestly understandable. That is a very slow chest.
Yeah.
And if you have the keys, then yeah, you might as well skip it.
So Brody's still looking for both the bow of both the bow of light and the and
My bow
the
shoots
hammer.
lamps.
We have Brody's coming back through this area that Flora had done earlier, and so this is a small chest. Flora should have a scoot fruit. We'll be able to just quickly dip out, or is right by the exit anyway, so could just leave.
Yeah, it's another one of those. The hardest part about scoot fruit is remembering you have scoot fruit. Rando definitely exercises a different part of your brain when you play it, especially compared to any percent or just like speedruns in general.
So this was what actually Flora was trying to set up earlier.
Yeah, there's a couple tricks to do this dungeon in basically no time at all. Unfortunately, if you haven't looked at this dungeon in a while, it can be confusing, and Sandrod and wind mechanics don't always work out quite how you remember them, but I see he's got to move a little bit further north for that to work.
Yeah. So Flora's back in Dark Palace. It's also complicated because I feel like this dungeon is one of those dungeons that are a little difficult to remember how to do if you haven't done it like in a long time.
It really is. And we actually within the last month or two, uh, we found a new trick to do this dungeon without the tornado rod. Like brand new tech that does it with just sand rod and no ability to lift yourself up. Which is just kind of bonkers. You know, this game is 10 years old. We're still finding new glitches.
Yeah, I think that right now the issue is that I don't know that that he necessarily remembers how to do it the vanilla way.
Actually, I think you're right. And this is only going to be for a shield, so he is burning time here. Okay, that'll work. Remember, you can merge north pretty. Oh no, no, he got it, but.
Yep, but that means he can get it again. He got it once, he can get it again. There we go. Nicely done. Oh, the frustration swipes. No! But it's a good item, at least, hey? Alright, so it looks like we're gonna be heading towards... I suspect Broody will probably check what's the ledge item up in this desert area. Maybe?
I think it is dead, isn't it? I think we got it hinted.
Ah, okay. I did not, I didn't see.
Oh no, it's a bottle. That's what it is.
A very long merge towards this ledge here so that doesn't have to use the sand rod for at least getting these birds. They are not leaving Broody alone. Flora navigating the navigating Dark Palace in the dark. It is honestly, I find it can be a little bit easier to do in the dark if you know where you're going, just because the lamp, like equipping the lamp, unequipping the lamp, equipping the lamp, unequipping the lamp can be a little bit of a pain.
It sure can. Interestingly, so our runners have the pouch, right? So they have the ability to equip 2 items at once.
Yeah.
Flora, noticed, has opted to only equip 1 item. Oh, hey, that's a French vanilla master ore. We probably saw that earlier, but I missed it.
It's one master ore that's French vanilla, and the second one that is regular vanilla.
Interesting ores today.
Yeah.
I want to say that we know where and 1 sword.
Yes. We know that one sword is in ice runes that we haven't seen.
We're hoping to not see.
Yeah. Because Broody is going through here, Broody will get the hammer, and Broody will not go to ice runes. I'm more worried about where Flora is gonna go.
Yeah, so now that Broody has entered desert, getting that hammer, he has a straight line. He's going to do desert, Hera, and then finish the game. It's a nice, clean path for him. Flora is very much, you know, she doesn't know what to do. She could go anywhere.
Yeah. So Flora doing Gemasaur here. This Gemasaur is my favorite boss. Gemasaur is beautiful. And has like some of the best just quick tech for bosses.
And
So,
Flora demonstrating right there. If you dash diagonally during that dark phase, he can't hit you for whatever reason. Although if you leave a bomb by the torch, the bomb will put out your torch.
yep. Has Flora found Great Spin? I don't think she has.
It's in Turtle Rock, so no, she doesn't
Oh,
have
okay, yeah, that's why. I couldn't remember where it was. This one, the one Pokeball is just not cooperating. In order to clear this room, you basically just need to kill all of the pieces of the Pokey, and because it was basically just staying out of reach, it was not cooperating at all.
Yeah, the Pokey's a really interesting enemy because you don't actually need to be able to attack to kill it. You just need 4 hearts to survive it.
Yeah.
No, we're going to ice.
We're going to ice.
Oh god.
All right, so now it's gonna be a race. Like this is gonna be how quickly can Broody clear desert, getting the hammer, going through Ganon's castle, getting the hint for Zelda, getting the hint for where the bow of light is, versus how fast. Because I think that once Flora clears ice runes, literally the only other place she can go is going to be well, actually no, she can still dip into Thieves, but I feel like with what's left, Eastern is going to be more likely. There's the super lamp. Yeah.
So we have an oops all dungeon seed.
But this is still like this race is pretty close still. Like it we've done a lot of checks in the overworld. Flora's done a lot of checks in the overworld, so there's not much that she has left once she goes through ice runes, and she's got a lot of skill with like tech and everything else all in glitchless category to get through this really quickly. So, yeah, it's still gonna be a really tight race.
Yeah, I'm guessing Flora will probably finish ice, and Broody will probably finish desert, probably close to each other. They're both long dungeons. I'm not really sure which one's longer, but after that, like you said, Broody's gonna go get his bow of light hint, and then it's really. If Flora dips Eastern right after this, I think she'll win. If she makes some other decision, then I think Broody's going to take it. Broody still needs... Oh, you're right, Broody does still need to... Well, Flora needs to do Turtle. So is about...
Turtle Rock is really long.
Yeah, but Go Mode Turtle is going to be a lot faster than Go Mode Hera, I think.
Yeah. And now Blue Mail. Finally getting an armor upgrade. Rudy needs to be very careful with the amount of health that he's losing here. Going all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon is going to be really rough.
Rudy? Very happy to see that. I'm curious if Flora will grab her tempered sword. I would, but I could also see her being like, I'm good at this game, I don't need it.
Oh no.
Ooh,
I think that might have been intentional though, maybe?
No, definitely not.
It's definitely going to start with more hearts, and there should be a warp point
Also,
Um,
he missed the chest in this room. I'm looking at his bottom screen.
I think it was small though.
Oh, you're right, you're right. All right, we have chest size matches contents. How about that? Well, going the long way doesn't... Okay, he lost a little bit of time by not taking the portal, but it's fine. It's not that much.
Oh, we're coming up to my favorite favorite room in Ice Ruins. There's a mini boss here that is a bunch of penguins. It will activate as soon as you get close to the door. So it's a good idea to get rid of that freezing anti-fairy before fighting these guys, because they can be really not nice.
Yeah, those
Blue mail.
ice anti-fairies, they hit for... It's not 3 hearts, is it? I know it's at least 2. It's some stupid number that's higher than it should be.
Yeah. And Blue mail, I think, saved Flora there. These penguins hit hard. So this room is really tough. This is the hardest room, I think, in basically most of the game. You can't walk on those. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this room is a contender for worst room in the game. It is awful.
You can't stand on those platforms because they'll break under your weight. So you have to run past them. You can see one of them cracked there from standing on it for too long. And the enemies in there, if you hit them, they'll knock you back. So you just fall off of there. You fall off of there anyways.
Interestingly, Flora did not grab Tempered Sword. She might go back for it. She'll have an opportunity, but she didn't get it on the first pass.
I suspect that with Super Lamp and the Hylian shield, she probably doesn't care. Because...
No, I guess it doesn't really save any time on Darkstair, because you have Super Lamp on Darkstair. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a very long check, and I think that she's probably worried about being behind. Probably.
I have to imagine both of our runners feel pretty behind.
Yeah.
Broody honestly cleared out too much of the overworld, I would say, and put off Desert longer than he should have. And Flora took some big risks, and we see the Ice Rod situation she's in because of them.
Yeah. So we're going to be going to Darkstair with 2 hearts. There's a couple of checks, or there's a couple of pots in this room here that will give you health. Blue mail makes this a little nicer, but still, it's definitely be a rough fight sometimes, depending upon the pattern of the. This boss has 3 little circular minions, ice minions that kind of follow it around, and depending upon the pattern it does for the triangle, in the later half it has 6, so there's 2 triangles. Sometimes they can overlap to make it so that you just can't escape taking damage.
Always love a good geometry lesson in the middle of the boss fight.
So both of them going to be in the boss fight around the same time.
I think Flora forgot she has Super Lamp.
It's also sometimes really hard to chase after the boss with the super lamp, because it's not as wide of a range as the Master Sword is.
Nice. The super lamp, it doesn't, you don't get any knockback like you do with the sword.
Yeah.
So that can make it a little bit easier to chase him. And either way, she has a relatively clean fight. Well done. And we will see how Broody fares with Zaganaga.
Phase 1 here. We're going to be phase 2 right now.
Not the ice rod. I'm so sorry, Flora.
Unfortunately, I feel like she's probably a little disappointed that didn't pay off. I'm hoping this means we go to Eastern. Looks like we're gonna go to Vacant House to probably go back into the portal into Hyrule, and then towards Eastern. I feel like if she was going to Thieves, that she would go to that she would have gone to the warp point inside of Kakariko.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Okay, this is Eastern for Flora.
Yep. This is where she gets her ice ride. And I wonder I genuinely am curious as to what the reaction is going to be when she does get it. Obviously, she's going to immediately leave the dungeon, go to Turtle Rock, but I feel like she's going to be kicking herself pretty hard. Or very worried about, dipping dungeons that were not necessary.
Can't imagine either of them are feeling ahead. Let's put it that way.
No. Yeah, definitely not. So Terror of Hera has a bunch of like auto-scroller sections that you kind of have to go through. So it'll be interesting to see how Broody takes this, knowing that Broody is still missing the light arrows. We know that Broody's probably going to go right to Lorule Castle, and is also going to go to get that hint. Also, by the way, I haven't mentioned this yet, but you'll have noticed that both of them are doing like a hammer cancellation trick by pulling up the quick swap menu at the same time as they are like done the hammer swap or done the hammer hit. So that helps them make it so that the hammer has kind of like a pullback animation. And by using the quick swap menu, basically that pullback animation is kind of eliminated. So it's just interesting to see.
Yeah, so that we call that a quick equip cancel. It is, and there's Ice Rod for Flora. That is go mode for Flora, I believe.
Yep.
But yeah, quick equip canceling is huge, especially if you are doing speedruns of this game. There's a number of glitches that are actually made possible only with it. And even if you're not doing glitches, it can still just make your life a lot easier, just not having to wait for all these animations to go through.
All right, so now it comes down to how quickly can Flora quick clear Turtle Rock versus a Broody finishing up Tower of Hera, then going to Lorule Castle, getting the hint, going to Rosso, getting the light arrows, and then both of them finishing up GT.
I think I would give the edge to Flora here.
Yeah.
Going Go Mode Turtle's gonna be pretty quick. She doesn't need to do pretty much any of the first floor. She only is gonna need one small key and the boss key because Flora knows how to do glitchless Turtle Rock. I would almost guarantee we will see that from her. She's gonna use the bow to hit a whiz robe from a very tricky angle. It's kind of neat to watch. Do you remember where the boss key was? I sure don't.
I think that it's on one of the not this chest, but the one directly north of it.
Not too terrible. Flora does know that it can't be on the outdoor chest. The rando can't put keys physically outside of the dungeon, so that balcony will always be an item.
These flamolas do not cooperate.
It looks like we got our raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. We've got Broody versus Flora today with an A Link Between Worlds randomizer race. We are coming up towards the end of the race. Flora is in go mode, trying to finish up Turtle Rock, and then storm Laurel Castle to finish the game. Broody is doing the same, but he needs to finish Tower of Hera, and then find his Bow of Light, which Flora already got out of Rosso's house.
I think that door she just opened, I'm pretty sure that has the big key in it. I could be wrong. It has been known to happen on occasion. But, yeah.
And, oh man, this room is terrible. Even if you have nice bombs, it can be terrible. But if you don't have them, it's like extra terrible. Because these Kodongos just do not cooperate. Look at him. He's just doing his own thing in his own world.
Chilling in the bottom, yep. So that Moldarm fight was super fast with great spin and Master Sword.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it happened so fast. If you were looking away, you probably wouldn't have seen it at all.
And that is 7 paintings for Broody.
Yep. This is Rosso. So we're gonna see Broody head to Low Rule Castle. There you go. Now Flora can do the rest of this dungeon basically really fast. I thought it was actually in the chest that was right above where Flora is, where she is. I did. I'm horrible.
But okay.
From commentary.
So, with only one key, I think she's gonna do the glitchless strat. If she had 2 keys, she might have opted to do it normal, but this should be faster. What she's about to do here, she's gonna get herself onto this west platform or east platform after she shouldn't have hit that to raise it. It's honestly really hard to figure out what state that platform should be in. But she's gonna take her camera and force it southwest, and that lets her spawn the Wizrobe, which she kills. And now she's going to use her Ice Rod to make herself a little path, and very, very carefully line up a bow shot. Oh, unfortunately she didn't get it. This trick is very punishing if you do not hit it from the right spot, and if you don't have a lot of health. It looks like she didn't get it the first 2 times. 3rd time's the charm? Oh, this is unfortunate. But
yeah, it's a very, very specific trick. It's really difficult.
There we go.
There we
Problem
go.
is you have to be basically as far south as you possibly can be without also being in lava. But she gets it. Very nice. Well done.
Broody getting that hint. Now leaving. I think both of our runners have forgotten they have the scoot fruit.
I think a lot of people just don't have it wired into their brains that they can use scoot fruit like that.
Oh, wait. Why is Broody going to ice runes?
I
thought Broody got the hint.
What? Did he misread it?
Did I misread it? What did the hint say?
I wasn't actually looking, but it should have said, "Did you find Bow of Light in the Lost Woods region?" That's what it should have said. Yeah, okay, it did say Lost Woods region. Then I have absolutely no idea what he's doing.
Maybe... Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Unless he knew that Super Lamp was there and just wanted it. But no, that can't be it. That can't be it.
I mean, logically, Super Lamp had to be here, and so it's possible that that was the case, but...
He's still gone. I have no idea what he's doing. Maybe he wants... Oh, maybe he does want Sword. But I wouldn't go this far into Ice Runes just for Tempered.
I mean, it's... If you know where the sword is, I guess it's especially with green mail, Broody just might not be comfortable enough to do green mail Master Sword Yuganin.
I bet Jim is right. Maybe he forgot about Ross's house and thinks it's Ted.
Oh.
That is unfortunate. If that's what happened.
I think that I also think that it depends on how knowledgeable you are on hints, because we know that hints specifically are my regions. So if you're not familiar with where those regions end, he might be thinking that it has to be the 3 checks that are in the Lost Woods and not necessarily the stuff that is outside of the Lost Woods, but in the Lost Woods my region.
Ooh. Well, that unfortunately is going to come down to game knowledge, if that is the case. But yeah, Lost Woods region. The way that the hints work in this game, in order to make it, not a subjective line that we draw, we literally use the same regions that the My map uses on the bottom screen. So that's why it says Lost Woods region and not just Lost Woods. But that is an understandable but unfortunate mistake, if that is what happened.
Yeah. I suspect that's probably exactly what it is. And so because he would think that it would be the pedestal having to go through this whole dungeon here.
And meanwhile, Flora has a decent chance to sub 3 here, I'm thinking.
Yeah, at this point, you just... There's no... are trials skipped, or do they have to do trials? I cannot remember.
Trials are skipped.
Okay. I thought so. I just wanted to double check. But yeah, so this is gonna be a very, very fast fight.
Flora also likes to go for fast tennis too, so honestly, I love watching Flora do the second phase. It's kind of bonkers. But yeah, at 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 6 seconds, Flora is entering the throne room to fight me, Ganon. Sorry, you, Ganon.
And you're gonna watch this with the super lamp, and it's gonna be amazingly quick. So it's hit the super lamp as many times, plus then right before you, Ganon, uses the swing, you're gonna hit your shield button so that you're not hit back too far. And Ganon, phase 1 done. So here we go with these, ooh.
Not quite. Yeah, Flora is the most aggressive tennis player I know for this game. And what does Zelda have after all this time?
Gonna guess $50 because it's always $50.
Oh my god.
You called that earlier.
I did. Oh, I didn't. I was hoping for their sake I was wrong.
You curse the players.
That is gross.
So now it's time to play Toho, where we dodge all of the little fiery fairies here.
Oh my, Flora.
Oh my, the swag.
The flex.
Oh
the flex.
My goodness.
Okay, you can play net tennis with you, Ganon, but it's like, it's not like A Link to the Past where it's actually good. It actually really sucks to do that. So that like one hit there, that was really risky that she did that. But she's just showing how skilled she is.
No, that was I love it. I am all about the different weapon kill for Ganon. Yeah, for some reason, if you're like downward diagonal from Ganon and he's in top left corner, sometimes even if you're swinging at the light ball, it will just go through you.
Yeah, it's because it's actually on top of you and it's going down. Now, real quick, time is coming up. It's not when you, Ganon, is killed, it's when Flora grabs the Triforce.
Yeah.
And swag kill with the net. And get your GGs ready for Flora Berry. She will be taking it in about 15 seconds or so here.
Yep, Triforce is sitting right on this little pedestal over here. Just need to grab it. Looks like Broody grabbing the boss items here. And GG, time. Flora finishing with a first place time of 2 hours, 57 minutes, 19 seconds. Congratulations to Flora. What a Ganon fight too. I feel like Flora must be sweating buckets, though, especially in that Ganon fight, considering the fact that, you know, she probably felt incredibly behind because of the ice rod. So let's see if Flora wants to join us for an interview here.
It looks like she will be. She's just getting her mic.
I'm curious about, looks like we're going to see the pedestal pull here from Broodie's side. And I'm very curious to see what the reaction is going to be.
I assume disappointment.
I also assume disappointment, but I'm also more wondering if there's going to be confusion, because I suspect that it's possible that he may not know that Rosso is considered Lost Woods region.
Now, okay, so we don't get to see this too often. In Rando, we don't have the oh, he's getting the hint for funsies. We remove the pose from the game, and every entrance here is valid. You can take any path that you want. All paths lead to the Master Sword.
Also, GG Flora, welcome in.
GG's Flora. How about that ice rod? Ooh, if you're saying something, we can't hear
Had
you.
to unplug the capture card. Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, Ice Rod is not my friend here.
Ooh, sorry. Go ahead.
But once I kind of struggled to get my footing since I hadn't played Rando in like a year.
We were wondering how you felt when you picked up the ice rod in Eastern Palace. What was going through your mind at the time?
I was glad I didn't have to do thieves.
as we all are.
Yes.
So it was interesting. You made a lot of risky plays. You just the second you got Titan's Mitt, or shortly thereafter. Broody played a little bit safer. I think he did a little bit more of the overworld, maybe too much of it. And so for a lot of this race, it was when do you go back to Eastern versus when does Broody start doing really just more of his dungeons.
Well, the thing for me is, since like glitchless is my main category, is I know dungeons are where I'm saving time over Broody. So I kind of figured I should try to prioritize those.
Yeah, and you have some really, really clean dungeons.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. The tech you were showing off was really cool.
Brody's getting his bow of light just now. Not happy about it.
No, definitely the extra sword swings showing the frustration, especially considering he got the hint in Ganon's castle, Lorule Castle, for where the Bow of Light is for the Lost Woods region, and then went and cleared Ice Palace, knowing now that Ice Palace was not necessary. I feel like very much he's beating himself up for that.
Understandable. I will also say Bow of Light being in Rosso's house reminds me of the first ever rando race we did, where we soft blocked because we couldn't get that Bow of Light in Rosso's house.
Oh yeah, well, everyone else soft blocked. I didn't soft block. But that is a throwback to the first ever race. Oh, that was 3 or 4 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy how much has happened since then.
Yeah, it's a great game. This has been phenomenal to commentate for. It was, yeah, as Rick was saying earlier, it really was neck and neck for a long time. It came down to when you went back to Eastern versus Broody putting off Desert Palace for a very, very long time.
Yeah, in my case, since Desert Palace is one of my strongest segments in Glitchless, that's like one I was excited to get done. So when I saw there was like hammer and all sorts of other goodies, I was very thrilled.
Yeah, there was a solid like hour and a half where we really couldn't figure out who was ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I think execution-wise, I want to say that you were probably ahead, but Broody had the ice rod and you didn't, so that was kind of like a big monka. Like, when is Flora gonna go back to Eastern?
Yeah,
You know?
I think it happened when I raced you, where I didn't go to Laurel Death Mountain and couldn't get Bow of Light because of it, and that's kind of how I lost that race.
Oh, yep. It was on Floating Island for our race.
So Broody opting not to use the super lamp, doing Master Sword Ganon, which means a little bit longer of a fight. We're probably going to see the Trident swing soon. There it is. Broody also picked up a few fairies as well, so has a little bit of safeties. I'm sure also he's going to be happy to see the red mail from Zelda. Which we are blaming Rick for, by the way, because Rick said at the beginning of the game that it would be great if Zelda had the armor, or something along those lines.
Commentator cursed you, I'm sorry.
Alright, so we're in phase 2 here.
It's a little low on health. It's okay, he did pick up fairies. He does have Super Lamp. Unfortunately, he didn't remember he had Super Lamp.
And here's where we get the armor upgrade. Yeah, he went in Ice Palace after Desert, or after, going into Lowroll Castle to get that hint. And one of the first checks inside of there had to be, or didn't have to be, but one of the first checks inside there was the lamp. So this Ganon fight, you actually have three different phases here at during this section, where, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about being able to dodge this way. This is so nice.
When you have Stamina Scroll, you can outlast the whole thing, but if you don't have it, then you need to still dodge a couple of them.
Yeah, I have lost a Glitchless world record that way, unfortunately.
Oh no. So these different Ganon sections here. First one, you have to kind of shoot the light arrows at, or shoot the bow of light at Ganon, and Ganon will kind of like put up his hands to prevent him from being shot with it. You leave the wall, you go behind him, shoot him in the back. That's where the Triforce is, and then do it again where you knock the orbs back towards him. Second phase, when you shoot at him, he'll charge at you, and then you just go behind him again, shoot him in the back, do rinse and repeat. And then this final phase, you have to merge with a wall far away from him and shoot the opposite direction of him, and then you get a fancy cutscene.
Years ago, that like arrow around the Rome shot blew my mind.
It's super pretty too. This game is beautiful. So again, Brody's time will be coming up when Brody touches the Triforce.
Hey. Aw. Hey.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Jim, you're right. Broody likes to showboat a little bit. Yep, going to take a lap.
And GG to Broody as
GG's.
well. Broody finishing with a second place time of 3 hours, 8 minutes, and 17 seconds.
Very respectable. Great job. Great job to both the runners. And it looks like he will be joining us for the interview.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal race. Like we were saying earlier, it's basically neck and neck the whole time, and it's just, been on the edge of our seats the whole scene.
Yeah, Jim rolled a great seed for this one. The execution required, the logic. I was so happy we got this one.
Yeah. Welcome in, Broody.
Hi.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling odd about that bow of light. I got that hint for Lost Woods. And
Lost Woods. Yeah. Sorry,
I
go
was
ahead.
at the tracker and I was like, the only thing that I have left in Lost Woods is Pedestal. Because I did not consider Roso's house in Lost Woods at all.
So the hints are based off of the Maya maps. So when it says Lostwood region, if you open the map for the Mai's, it'll show you all of the checks within that area.
Oh my.
So yeah, the Lostwoods region includes that house, yeah, for the My maps. That's exactly what I thought the reason was on why you went to Icelands. I was so sad for you at that time.
Oh my god. As soon as it wasn't there, I was like, if it's at Roso's house, I am going in to just smile.
Yeah, I saw the frustration swipes. No, it was a great race.
It really
Yeah,
was. So you got that ice rod out of Eastern Palace very early in the game, Broody. Flora did not. And
really?
Yeah, that made things very, very, like, we could not tell who was really ahead, because I think Flora was a little bit ahead in terms of dungeons for most of this race. But her missing that ice rod, she was on an ice rod hunt, basically, at the end of the game. And she checked a lot of dungeons. You both dipped ice. Not required, but you both did it.
Yeah, it ended up being, I think Flora had at one point, I think it was 5 portraits when Broody had 2, but Broody, you were in a dungeon that was going to lead you basically to fire. Like you had gone to, at that point you had gone to House of Gales, which was where you were going to find the fire rod, and that was basically just going to open everything up for you.
Yeah, I was confused on where my fire was for a bit. I was like, it's not really in House of Gales, is it? And I saw that fire rod. I was like, oh my gosh, no way.
Yep. Fire rod to first lamp in Ice Ruins to second lamp in Low Rule Sanctuary.
Sort of interesting, because Flora did Gale's maybe like a half an hour earlier than you did. And so she had Master Sword for a lot longer than you did, but you had Great Spin out of Turtle, which she couldn't have. So it was sort of like Master Sword versus Great Spin on either side of the screen.
Yeah, you two both did a phenomenal job. It was an amazing race to showcase.
Yeah,
really was.
This was a good seed. It was fun.
How'd you feel about Zelda having that red mail there at the end?
Zelda's always got to hold on to something.
She sure does. Okay, this is really interesting. So Flora has defeated Broody. Broody, you defeated me a while back, and further back than that, I beat Flora in a race. So we've each won one out of these matchups.
So that means we gotta go head to head to head.
It's like the Pokemon type chart.
We both learned today that Rick and I are not very good at Pokemon
No?
types.
I'm not good at type matchups, but
Yeah, that I think it was we were making a comment about how you were looking for Fire Rod and Flora was looking for Ice Rod or something, and I don't remember the exact joke, but it was something to do with fire beats water or oh no, it was the kudos. It was the kudos in the thing being one shot because I think somebody or Flora, I think you used Fire Rod on the kudos and how they one shot them. And I was like, well, fire is strong against water, so that makes sense. But yeah, no, it was definitely interesting to see where you guys were all going, and we kind of assumed, especially Flora, with the dungeons that you had available, like they were all pendant dungeons, but check density wise, it made sense to go to like it made sense to go to ice runes. It made sense to go to what was the other dungeon that was portrait
Dark?
or yeah, Dark Palace, that's it. Yeah. Because of how many checks are in there. It's like check density wise, those would be like ideal. And then after that, I think the only things you really had was Eastern and Thieves. If I recall. Is there anything else that you didn't have checked besides of course Pedestal?
Yeah, but I had the hint that pedestal I think was something.
Yeah.
So I knew, okay, I don't need pedestal. And I frankly just went to Eastern because I do not like Thieves very much. At least
Yeah.
in comparison to the other dungeons.
Yeah, the escort mission is pretty rough.
yeah, I never found that master pedestal hint. I was looking for it. If I would have found that, that would have saved a little bit of heartache.
It would if you had found that hint, you both would have been going into the Ganon fight around the same time.
Because you guys really
The
were that close.
yeah, yeah, it was neck and neck. The only difference was when you got the hint for Lost Woods, you went to Ice Runes. And we had already seen Flora pick up the bow, so we knew where it was. And that was the deciding factor. Before that, like I said, you guys were neck and neck basically the whole time.
That's a good race then, in my eyes.
Yeah, it was definitely an enjoyable seed, so glad I could do this today.
And now I know that Lost Woods is a region and not
Yes.
just the woods.
All of the hints are regions.
That it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense now that I think about it.
But yeah, thank you both so much for racing this, especially on, such a, big celebratory day. 10 years. 10 years this game has been out.
Crazy, yeah.
Entire decade. We're 1/10 of the way to the centenary. 100 years of A Link Between Worlds. We're almost there.
Can't wait for that race.
Right. I wanna again thank Zelda Speedruns for hosting us today. Trez especially, we did not give them very much notice, so very much appreciate that they were able to accommodate us. Thank you to our restreamer, Celeste and Zeno, our tracker, Jim, my co-commentary, Sakura Subasa, all excellent, very, very cool people. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I'm really glad this happened.
Me too. thank you for inviting me to commentate with you. It's fun.
You should do it again.
Yeah.
You should do more races.
Yes.
All right, so coming up on the ZSR front, we've got a couple things coming up. We've got a metric butt ton of Z2R. Their standard tournament is still going on. We're in the semifinals and quarterfinals, it looks like. Later this week on American Thanksgiving, we have a 7 p.m. rate. We have that's American Thanksgiving in Europe. Sorry. Tonight at 7 p.m. we have Myrai versus Kutster. That's game 1 of the quarterfinals. That's happening on this channel right here. Also coming up later tonight, we have a 9 p.m. race, which is the semifinals between Sigley and Balance. That is also part of the Z2R standard tournament. And then an hour and a half later after that, another semifinal between Ta and the Goborn. Coming up later in the week on actual American Thanksgiving, we have a couple ALTTP NMG matches between Keebs and Spleeby and Just Spiel, Willie, and Faker Jr. Those are both happening on Thanksgiving at 11 a.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern, respectively. Coming up this weekend, we've got your standard weeklies that we see, the Uter Standard Weekly happening at 6 p.m. on Saturday, as is also going to be a qualifier, and the EU Weekly at its normal time of 10 a.m. Eastern. That will also be a qualifier. We're going to go ahead and send you guys over to Jess. He's doing some Majora's Mask speedruns, and we will see you guys next time.